Welcome to Little Talks, your weekly dose of marketing news, trends, and insights from Littlefield Agency. Grab your coffee, turn up the volume, and let's get into it.
Roop, there he is. Let's get into it, baby. Happy Wednesday.
Yes, little later this week, huh?
Happy Wednesday. Wednesday after the Easter holiday. Welcome back to another edition of Little Talks with Littlefield Agency. My name is Sam Littlefield. With me is
Roop.
You know, that 4-day weekend is really nice. Claude, what do you think?
Awesome.
3-day weekends are great, but there's something about that 4th day. And someone was asking me, what'd you do? Well, okay, Friday was with the family. That was great. Saturday, Sunday, Easter stuff. But Monday, kids were preoccupied. Tara's at the practice. I just got to do whatever I wanted to do. I went on a long run. I did a lot of yard work. I had a lot of honeydews to do around the house, and I knocked them out.
Updated calendar invites. I saw.
Calendar invites. I did work for a couple of hours on Monday morning because I just need to get ahead of the week. But besides that quick momentary 2-hour period, it was just good. It's just nice.
Yeah, and the weather was nice.
Oh my God, the weather here in Tulsa, Oklahoma has been 75 and sunny. We got storm season, April showers, bring May flowers. It's supposed to get pretty stormy later this weekend. But did you have a nice Easter?
I did. Thank you.
Claudia, good Easter?
Yep.
Happy birthday to Claudia's boyfriend, Jackson.
Yeah.
Oh, happy birthday yesterday.
Jackson's younger, right?
Yeah, he turns 24 yesterday.
Claude robbed the cradle. 24 is young.
Yeah.
But Claudia's young too, so it's all good. Yeah. It is Masters Week. If you were watching this video, I've got a vintage suede Masters pullover that my father, our founder, David Littlefield, purchased for me when I was 16 years old.
Wait a minute. What do you consider vintage? What year was that?
This was almost 20 years ago, 19 years ago. So minus 19. I don't know. You do the math.
That's
98.
Minus 20. No, 98. Come
97?
on. No, 2007.
That's not 20. Oh, maybe it is.
It is 98.
Crap. I almost said the wrong word.
Dad wouldn't have taken me to the Masters at that age, but it is Masters Week. For those that are not golfers, it is the holy grail for any sports aficionado, especially when it comes to golf. I've been to Augusta National in Georgia, northern Georgia, a couple of times. I am mentally there this week. Don't worry, I'm working. I'm focused.
I'm very bothered that something from the 2000s is considered vintage now.
I was wondering why you were sighing over there. She's vintage. She's born in 2000.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
Anyway, to our listeners, if you celebrate the Masters, ping me, man or woman, because I love the Masters. I love this week. They've got the TVs on, and Claude and Roop are just disinterested, and that's okay.
I like the pimento sandwich
Pimento sandwich, that's right. I need to put that on my list, pimento cheese. So this is kind of the one, I was telling Chelsea this, and she's like, you really shouldn't be advertising this. And I was like, well, it is the truth. But this is the one week of the year where I really am I love sports, don't get me wrong, but I'm always hands-on with the kids, and I help Tara, and this is Tara knows that I'm the Masters is the Masters, and it's just where I'm zoned in. We're out of town Friday, Saturday, very, very briefly, just down the road. I'm celebrating a birthday for Tara's uncle. But Sunday, my ASS is going to be on that COUCH watching the MASTERS.
I almost kept up with all of that.
So happy Masters Week to all of us who celebrate. And the last announcement is, and I'd love to gauge your thoughts. We had our executive offsite yesterday at the Summit Club. Mm-hmm. It actually ended sooner than we thought it was going to end, which was nice. I think that's always a bonus. But we run off of EOS, Entrepreneurial Organizational System. There's another acronym for you, EOS, which is called Traction. For some of you that are listening, I've sent you this book. Hopefully you've read it. Hopefully at some point you implement it, because we are on year 5 of implementing Traction. It's been a great thing for our agency as we continue to grow, as we continue to focus and build a great agency. But what do you think of yesterday?
It was good. I think
Did we solve world problems?
I think we solved a couple.
I think we solved a few.
And I think it's just, I'm not usually one for structure, but it's a good structure for us, right? And I like that it keeps us kind of on task and looking forward and making plans and solving problems.
Yeah, so we have weekly leadership meetings. They're called L10, level 10 meetings. They go to your quarterly. Your quarterlies are to Q1, 2, 3, and then you have your annual offsite. And basically, it's if you're doing everything you need to do on a weekly basis, to your monthly, to your quarterly, to your annual, you blink and you've set out to achieve your goals, which they call rocks. But anyway, if you're interested and chatting more about this, it is a passion of mine. I love it. There's nothing groundbreaking about this process. It's a process-oriented book. Mm-hmm. It's not rocket science. It's just a matter of putting pen to paper and actually following the process. I always say, if I send this book to 10 people, 4 or 5 will read it and 1 will implement it.
And how many will stick with it?
Great question.
That's the trick.
Yeah, and we're in year 5. We don't stick with things very often, but here we are 5 years later.
Yeah, it's a habit now.
Yeah, it's good. So it's a great day. It's a really, really refreshing. It's good to be back in the agency with that Friday and Monday, and then yesterday with the offsite. Tuesday, it's been 5 days been at the agency. So it's good to be back, Roop. Okay, now this is a great topic. Claude, let's hit it.
Hold on.
Boom.
Should power up the
It's okay, got to
soundboard.
power up. I get it. This is, how many weeks has this been in the making for us to talk
About
about
5,
this?
I think. This is from when we did our live recording about in February, I think.
And we've talked about this before, but it is a good reminder. We've got some new points in here, but Roop, lead it away.
Yeah, at that live event that we did, someone had asked, how do you generate content topic ideas that are good, that resonate with your customers? Because content being like kind of the lifeblood of the internet, and how you show up in SEO, and how you attract people to your brand, and how you relate is important.
We had a whole topic about this yesterday.
We sure did.
We did. You know what? It's just now hitting me. Talks about all things SEO, AI
Yeah.
SEO, and relevant content. How are you showing up? So this is great. Very timely, Roopster.
It is. So a lot of people will come to us and ask about, hey, we need help with content, or we want to start a content program, but we don't think we have enough to say. We couldn't possibly create content at the rate that you recommend, which I recommend a lot.
And usually, I was just say a lot because they usually don't have the bandwidth.
That's what.
It's
Yeah,
a lot. It's a lot.
it's too. We can't create it, and we just don't have that much to say. There's only so many things we can say about our product. Ow, and there's your problem. Your content doesn't all need to talk about you. It needs to talk about your customers, and you need to resonate with your customers. So these are the lists of kind of things I go through with people to kind of get them to understand a little bit better about they do have something to say, and there's a lot to say, in fact, and your customers do want to hear from you. So
And when you say content, we're not just
Yeah.
talking blog posts.
No,
we're talking videos. We're talking
videos, lo-fi videos, blog posts, social posts, emails.
Does this all come from marketing?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, that's the right answer. I thought you were going to say yes, and I was going to battle you.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it's a two-pronged effort. Continue though, please.
In fact, one of the best places to start, if you think you have nothing to say, nothing to write about, nothing to create content-wise, go to your customer service team and ask them what the 5 most common complaints or questions or input they get from your customers are.
Buy that customer service team a cup of coffee.
Yep.
That'd be a good start. Because and here's the thing, they're on the phone all day.
They're on the phone all day, and they're going
They're in inquiry forms all day.
They're pretty close touch point with your customers, and they're
Sales team too.
Sales team too. That's further down the list. But yes, talk to your internal teams, the ones that are interacting with your customers. They're going to give you, I get every week somebody asks about XYZ 5 times. Great, make it a content piece, publish it on your website through your social channels, and you've now addressed something that maybe takes a little steam off of the customer service folks.
And as you take those, let's say you identify those 5 to 10 common themes, questions, pain points, challenges, you name it. Throw those into chat. Come up with 10 to 15 to 25 more. Boom, there you go. You're off to the races. It's good. But here's you've done that step 1, which is great. Now it's a matter of, okay, how do I bring this to life? Hey, by the way, are blog posts dead?
No, not at all.
They're more
important than ever.
Now than ever. That's
Yeah.
exactly right. We talk about this all the time. Internally, we talk about it with our clients. We've got a great client that sees the absolute value in that.
And,
But yeah.
and I don't want to go over like today, because this is going to be we don't do a 5-hour podcast or 2-hour podcast yet.
Our listeners wish.
They wish. Oh, they're waiting for it. We're not going to go through the full content process. This is literally just how do I have ideas? Because a lot, again, it's the number one thing I hear from people that are like, well, we're hurting in SEO, we're hurting in AI SEO, and we know we need a blog or we need some sort of long form content or ongoing content plan, but we just don't have anything to say. You do.
So they've tackled customer service. They've got 10 to 25 to 30 topics. Boom. There's step 1. What's
That's step 1. Yeah, and how many do I need? If you can do it, I wish you did 4 a week, but if you could do just 2 or 3 a month, that's probably more than you're doing now, and it's not enough. Other areas you can go to get content topics, voice of the customer data. You can use analyze surveys, look through reviews, see what people are saying about you on platforms like Reddit.
Yep.
It's pretty easy to search your brand name on Reddit and see what your customers are saying. I'll warn you, Reddit is rough.
It's authentic.
But it's real, and that's what people are talking about. So you can get some ideas from that.
And how cool would it be? Here's for those listening. Go to a Reddit thread. Search your company name, your brand, whatever, and let's go find a rough comment.
Yeah.
And let's spin that in a positive light. Hey, at Steve Roop 7459.
7359.
7359. Let's we're gonna take that comment and we are gonna combat you in a respectful, great way of why our product or brand or what happened and how we can fix that.
Or sometimes it's not a combat.
People like that. Yeah. It may not be a combat.
Sometimes it's like, hey, we often hear this misconception that.
Yes.
And we want to go ahead and talk about like how this goes.
You're always better spoken than
So
I was.
you've got an opportunity to kind of change opinions through this as well. So voice of the customers out there. Another thing you can do if you're not using a tool like SEMrush or something, it will just tell you outright, here are the keywords and phrases your brand should show up for and or not. That's a low-hanging fruit to do work like that.
Yep.
Go to Google and look at the people also ask. So Google your brand name or your industry that you're in.
People also search for.
And see what other people are talking about. See what your other competitors are doing if they're showing up there. If they're writing content that talks about something that you haven't written about or that you have an opinion on, write about it. See if you can steal some sunshine from them.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Competitor content's huge. That's one of the things I do a lot is when I'm doing content research every year for a content calendar, a content plan. I go out and have proprietary tools that we've built that go and scrape and look at all these different competitor blogs and analyze and come back and say, hey, here's the low hanging fruit. Here's the long tail. Here's the strengths and weaknesses.
And we're not telling you to steal their blog posts or their thought leadership or whatever it is. You're get it. Yeah, exactly. It's a sounding board.
And then, once you have this big pile of ideas and you're at this point should have dozens and dozens and dozens, you
at least 50,
like Sam said, it's pretty easy to take those and break them down even further. You may have some that are called content pillars, and those are main topics that splinter off and have kind of branches that go into other detail. So for example, what we're talking about today would be a branch. How do I get ideas?
Yep.
Pillar would be starting your content plan. In fact, we need to write this article. Starting your content plan.
Oh, just set yourself up.
I did. Then you have branches that are about how do you germinate ideas? How do you execute? How do you follow up? How do you do analytics on it? That can all be part of one article with branches off of it. So you don't have to say everything about a particular topic in one piece of content. Say enough to be informative and to have some authority on it, but save some for other articles and other pieces of content.
And let's say you have a long form piece of content. You might reread that a week later and be like, wow, this nugget of information here in this paragraph, that's a whole new blog post, video series, whatever it may be. I mean, and you've serialized content in the past is what you have kind of coined that term.
For really long things, you can do a part 1, part 2. People don't mind.
No. Not
break it up.
Kind of that teaser. And then back to the, as we talked about customer service, I don't know who's listening to this podcast today, but if you sell through dealers or distributors or sales reps, those guys, they have so much information. You might have an awesome customer. And by the way, asking a customer for a testimonial or, hey, let me pick your brain on this and let me put you on camera or let me reference you in an article. What an amazing affirmation and validation to that customer. It honestly builds the relationship. So I think there's a lot of opportunity to not only with customer service, but with sales, with your customer. If you have a pissed off customer, talk to that customer.
Yeah.
Turn that anger into glee and joy, and they'll respect that.
And I will say, you have the opportunity to correct things that are wrong or bad out there that are
especially today
or inaccurate. You have that opportunity. But if it's honest and it's real, and they're complaining about something like, internally we know that too.
Yeah.
It's a good thing to address
Have that real life conversation.
Address it and say, hey, we recognize X, Y, and Z, and this is what we're doing to fix it or move forward.
Well, and what I love about this too, when you fix something like that, and I'm thinking in the world of Google reviews.
Yeah. Hey,
gave this company a 1-star. I see more and more these days. Update review. Hey, updated. I'm giving these guys 5. I have updated my review from 1 to 5 stars because they reached out to me, they listened to me, and they fixed the problem. You got a customer for life at that point.
You know what reviews are, Sam? They're content.
Yep.
Absolutely. Another piece of content. Absolutely. And I didn't mention this when we were listing forms of content, but obviously you can do podcasts off this stuff. Today's topic literally came from someone asking us a question.
That's true.
And here we are.
So we're practicing what we preach.
Yes, we do.
It's good to do that every once in a while. And again, this last point, validating ideas with audience data, right?
Yeah. So, you're going to have your own business goals and you're going to hopefully know your audience or have some CRM that gives you some insight into who that audience is or has done some research or surveys or whatever, but kind of mirroring together your audience and who they are and what they want to hear from you is important. You really need to understand that.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
So it's not about you.
Now more than ever.
It's about them.
Yes.
And you got to understand them to talk to them.
Entertain, engage, and experimentation is huge. Again, there is a point in the sales cycle where we are focused on product content. I want to know about
absolutely
1,000%. But you need to teach them. And there's a great use. God, this was years ago. Reynolds Wallace, shout out to you. 50 ways to use a vac. And Ren spearheaded this content opportunity. And it was literally 50 ways that people can use a vacuum excavator by Ditch Witch. And I think she came up with like 53 ways, to be honest. But it was super cool because it was educational of, wow, I have that vac and I didn't know I could use it for that reason. Never crossed my mind. That's thought leadership. Experimentation is huge too.
Yeah, some things will succeed, some won't.
Your article, your videos, it's not going on the front page of Forbes or Wall Street Journal.
It's not going to the Smithsonian either.
It's not going into the Smithsonian.
Probably.
Maybe if it's really good content. But again, be experimenting with headlines, with certain. We've just updated a ton of Grasshopper blogs, and I know we're in the process of doing that based on AI SEO updates and recommendations. Yeah. So I think it's really important, but you have to entertain. And you got to engage your audience, because if it's just boring, people are going to bounce real quick.
Yeah, and that's tough. I will say one tip I'll give you is if someone has written an article for you and it's some internal person, like maybe he's an engineer or product leader,
that happens.
They tend to think more technical and be more left brain.
And they think it's the best article ever.
And it factually probably is.
Yeah.
But your audience may not care as much about that level of detail. One trick you can do is to put that article into an AI system and say, keeping the exact same content, the exact same factual information, do not change it. Give me a version of this that's written at a 10th grade level.
Yeah.
And that's where most people read.
Totally.
And you'll see it melt away, the kind of technical jargon, into like everyday language, and that's what people relate to.
And as people are doing research on your brand, whether it is through LLMs, through Google search, through they're just YouTube, right? That's a huge search engine. The more content you have, it is a validation. These guys haven't posted in a year. No, that's a thing. And so you want to be, how much content is too much content?
There's no level to me.
Bingo.
I will say this about it as well, because I'm glad you brought this up. The other thing I frequently will tell a client or a prospect is you probably don't think anything of posting 5 or 6 times a week on social media. Yeah. But somehow you're afraid to post more than once a month on your own blog or send out an email or whatever.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. It's not how people are doing it right and who are succeeding at this operate.
And I may have shared this months ago, I may not, but it's a good reminder. It takes about 17 touch points now, 17 touch points to engage your audience. Again, we think about the product that you're trying to move or the service you're trying to sell. It's a long sales cycle in the B2B world. So they're not ready to move after one email.
No, not at all.
And they may not be ready to move after 17 emails, but again, right? And then there's a whole other topic that we can talk about another time, getting into the nitty gritty of that content strategy, of that segmentation strategy, and getting people to eventually convert with your brand.
Yeah, content by itself is not a silver bullet.
Nope.
But it is a magazine clip full of bullets. How about that?
Oh, wow.
No good? Too violent. Let's not talk about bullets. Edit all that out. It's not. I understand your point's accurate. It by itself is not going to all of a sudden, flood you with leads, but it is absolutely going to have a part in gaining you leads.
Yes, that's exactly right. Chelsea Clement, hate to give her credit, put this very well one time to a client years ago. It's like, too many emails. And she's like, hey, how many emails do you get from a furniture company? West Elm, Pottery Barn, what name your company, right? Nike, Lululemon for apparel. You get hundreds. But guess what? When you're ready to buy that pair of shoes, you're ready to buy that couch, what's top of mind? Nike, Lululemon, Pottery Barn, West Elm, what Our House, you name it. They're in your inbox and they're doing their job, because when you're ready to make that purchase, they are top of mind.
The average B2B brand sends 4 to 6 pieces of email a week to you. The average B2C sends 4 to 5.
Yeah.
So I can't send one email. I send a quarterly. Wow. How far behind are you against all your competitors who are having those touch points much more frequently?
Totally. No, this is great, Roop. It's a really good reminder as you kind of come out of the craziness of Q1. We are in Q2 now.
Yeah,
Happy Q2. It's a great exercise internally. Go make amends with customer service and sales. They love that. Everyone loves a free cup of coffee.
Yeah, and they like to be part of the process. And someday they're going to see that article up there and say, you know what, that was my idea.
Yes, that's exactly right. And it is, again, there's some synergies there internally. There's some great outcomes here externally for your customers, for your current customers, and for your prospective customers.
Yeah.
cross-sell opportunities. We'll talk about that another time. Roop, I love it. This is a topic. It's been sitting on our desk for weeks. We finally got to it. I told you I wouldn't bombard this. It's a great day for Steve Roop, for Claudia, for Sam. To our listeners, as always, thank you so much. Happy Masters Week. If you have never watched the Masters before, go ahead and watch it. It's like the most incredible TV. Are you going to watch the Masters this weekend? Don't lie to me.
I'm going to walk around the office, so I feel like, yes, I'll be watching the Masters.
It's in the kitchen. Claudia, you watch the Masters at all?
I really enjoy watching the hauls that the people get from the pro shops at the Masters.
the HAULS.
HAULS.
Niche
My
comment.
TikTok is just covered in Master Halls right now.
But I'll watch it this
I
weekend.
thought you meant the Halls of Augusta. I was like, damn, Claude, let's go.
She goes hard.
Yeah, no.
Okay, awesome. Guys, as always, thank you. Hope you had a wonderful Easter. Spring is sprung. We're here in April. Happy Q2, and we will see you next week. Thank you all.
Adios.
Bye-bye.
And that's a wrap. We hope you found a spark of inspiration for your marketing strategy. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us at Littlefield Agency to keep the conversation going. Catch you next time.